Good afternoon, champions. So, welcome to our today's analysis. So, today we'll be analyzing the Euro NZD. So, we'll be looking at areas in which we can mostly capitalize on the market and see in what areas we can make sure that we capitalize on the moves that the market make. So, currently, you can see that generally the Euro NZD is moving towards the downside. So, you have got this downward movement that is still happening, a sharp downward movement, and within that downward movement you have got this particular upward trend that you are seeing. So you can see that within this downward movement you can see that there is this fantastic upward trend that is here, and that is what we'll be concentrating on as we'll be moving towards the downward time frame. And also something that we have to note is that whenever you are doing your analysis, make sure that you note down the significant areas. Like in this place you have got this first significant area, so you can see that this is a very strong region of resistance that you have to look out for. So in a point of resistance you can always be looking out for. It can be point of breakout or whenever the market they want to break out of a particular move. So you can see like in these areas, this being a very strong point of resistance, uh, in future we may experience the market making a breakout towards above it, that is towards the upside. So these areas are usually very significant. So whenever you are doing the analysis, make sure that you point out these particular areas in which that you have got a certain region of resistance or a region of support, looking out for whether the markets are going to get to these areas and then move toward the downside, or the market may decide to create a breakout and move above it. So as you can see now in a monthly time frame, you've got this downward trend, but then inside this downward trend, you've got this upward movement that is happening. Significant areas, it is one that I've mentioned, this particular point of resistance that you are seeing here, and also this particular trend line that the market is very much respecting. So you can see this particular trend line that the market is really much respecting. So let us just move to the weekly time frame. So looking at the market from the weekly time frame, you can see now we are magnifying that particular small bit of the upward trend. You can see that we have got downward movement, upward movement. So we'll be concentrating much on the recent occurrences that have just occurred. That is within this particular time frame. So you can see that the market are moving in between these three regions. So you have got this first region that you are seeing here. So that is the first region. You have got so you have got also this particular region that is here. So this becomes the second region the market is playing out, and also you have got this third region that is acting as a point of resist. I mean a point of support. So you can see that in this there's a lot of significance that you have to understand. So whenever a market have got a point of resistance, mostly it has got a point of support, and inside in between those particular point of resistance and point of support, you can have an intermediary where the markets tend to consolidate in between. Like here, this region is divided into two. So you've got this upper level, the upper region that is in this particular area. You can see that the market moved above to this upper level, came to this particular point of resistance and moved below, came to touch this particular level, and there was kind of consolidation in between this region of resistance and this region of support. So, and you can see now that the market moved below, you can see that the market are consolidating in between the lower region, that is between this particular point of support here and this particular intermediary that is here. So you can see that here we had a nice upward movement, and then we experience a breakout to the downside, that came to this particular trend line. So trend line are also significant things that you have to always look out for, because markets will always respect trend line. So you can see that we had markets coming down to this particular level here, and then further moving toward the upside to this particular level before further moving towards the downside. So let us move to a daily time frame so that you can see the clear view of how the market is moving. So moving to the daily time frame, you can see that there are nice pattern that were being created by the market. That is, so you can see that we had this particular upward movement to this particular level here, And then you had a move to the downside that was really drastic. It was a drastic move to the downside. So a drastic move to the downside and then went below even this particular point of support. The market went below. We experienced a breakout to this particular trend line that is here. So you can see this particular trend line here. The market moved below it, but then it started consolidating towards the upside, came back for a retest. So I was targeting that the market were going to rise to this particular point of support before making any other moves. But you can see that the market even broke again below this particular trend line. So moving to the hourly time frame so that you can have a clear view of what the market is really doing. So this is how the market is behaving when it comes to that is the hourly time frame where I mostly take my trades from. So you can see that the market, when it came down, this created a breakout to the downside. So you can see it came to this particular level, brought itself to this particular level, and then started moving with a particular pattern. So you can see that is a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, kind of a higher low, but then it broke below, so it came to this particular point. So it came to this particular point because previously you can see that this point acted as a point of support. So that's why you can see the market in this particular level, they are acting as a point of support here. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting that the market may rise to this particular levels. They may even further move to these particular levels here. They may decide to continue moving to the upside to this particular level before having some downward movement. So what I'm currently expecting out of the that is the Euro NZD. I'm looking forward to this particular trade here. You can see that in this trade, I'll just be risking 85 pips for a reward of 318 pips. So I'm looking forward for this particular markets continuing to move towards the upside. Moving to the hourly time frame is just a magnification of what we have just been doing in these particular areas here. So you can see, so I'm looking forward for the market to rise high to these particular levels here. But in the meantime, it is just a matter of being patient and allowing the market. And one thing that I have to say is that whenever you're placing in your stop losses and also your take profit, let them not be so tight that you are not allowing the market to move. So give the market some space so that the market may be able either is to come out of a consolidation, allow the market, if it is forming consolidation, allow the market to form a simple consolidation before further moving toward the upside or to the downside. So don't make your stop losses and also your take profit to be so tight. So that is all that I had for today. Do continue having a great week, and may the pips always be